Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Crown NHL. This week we're not gonna do topics for a change because I don't have that much I wanna take up on that. So instead we're gonna have the early season award ceremony thing. And to start things off, I'm going with who I think have been the greatest goalie so far this season. And if you've been watching hockey, then you probably will know that it's Craig Anderson in the Ottawa Senators. He have been such an amazing goalie so far, and I don't think many could understand that he could be this good for Ottawa Senators. He was good in the Colorado Avalanche when he got the shot at it, but then injuries crept up and also bad playing, and suddenly Colorado and Senators decided to make a trade. Elliott against Anderson, and now we see how that happened. Elliott's now in one of the great tandems of the league with Halak in Louis Blues, and in Ottawa Senator, Anderson have stolen the show, and he have to be the MVP this season for Ottawa. Now with Erik Karlsson gone and Spezza gone, both to nasty injuries, they need him to be great every night if they want to make the playoffs. I don't know how much they can do when they and maybe if they will make the playoff, that would say only time will tell. And runner-up behind him, Pekarine, who have been the reason why Nashville are doing so great now with lacking Suter, not having every player that they had last season. Nashville said that Suter couldn't remain there because I think they could have won the cup if they had him. But now I think they're a great team. Hopefully one day we can see a Stanley Cup in Nashville Predators. And so we move on to defensemen, and the defenseman I think has been the best so far. Many have Erik Karlsson, but I only have it as runner-up. For me, it's Duncan Keith, because we're finally seeing the Duncan Keith that was when the Blackhawks won the Stanley Cup last time. Now he's showing all the skills that he possesses, and what a great player he has been for the Chicago Blackhawks, which is why the Chicago Blackhawks is so good as they are right now. They're probably already in the playoffs almost. I don't see how they're not gonna make it to the playoff. With shortened season, I don't see how they are not going in there. And so I have Erik Karlsson as runner-up. He have been awesome all up to his injury. Unfortunately, we're not gonna see him more this season, which is a tough break. It's a tough thing for the NHL as a league because he's one of the most fun players in the whole league. Hopefully he can return next season and be as great as player as he have been last season and beginning of this season. And so we move on to the rookies, which I have picked Corey Conacher of the Tampa Bay Lightning. This is a guy that have played his heart out all his life, went to college, went all this and took the long route, which if you're not a player goes in the top half of the draft, that's a thing that you should do, because college have shown everyone how helpful it is for the players. You get an education, you get to play against great players also. So with all that said, Kari Conacher, great this season so far, and hope he will continue on and help the Tampa Bay Lightning to the playoffs. We can see them there. And runner-up, I have Jonathan Huberdeau. Really, for most people, Tarasenko or Conacher is the ones that fighting for the top spot. But I think Tarasenko have already gotten so much spotlight. We all know he's a great player. But I think Huberdeau is much more important for the Florida Panthers than what Tarasenko is for the St. Louis Blues. I think if Florida is gonna see any good things, they need to get back their players and also hope that Huberdeau can have a great rookie year, and maybe he can even beat out Tarasenko and Conacher for that top spot and get the Rookie of the Year. And so we move on to the MVP of so far this season. And I'm gonna admit, I'm gonna do something drastically different. I'm gonna take my MVP, that the player that I think deserves most credit, because it's not, for me, it's not about what the player. Great, I'm losing myself. But I just want to promote two players that I think has done such great things for the team in different circumstances, or whatever you would like it. My MVP so far this season is Timo Solani, because his age and what he brings. The point he brings every night, and 42 years of age, is just the fact that you can play that good. It's just like Lidstrom all the years in Detroit, that you can play that good and get that many points for a team in that age and be that lethal. He deserves to be my MVP this season so far, because it's just amazing what he's doing, which is one of the players who have helped Anaheim to be the team that's second in the league on points so far, behind the Chicago Blackhawks. And nobody expected that before the season. I certainly didn't expect Anaheim to be this good, and just hope they will continue on doing it. And my runner-up will be the New Jersey Devils' David Clarkson. You could think with that 30-goal season last year that maybe Clarkson was a fluke last season. He had, with that playing style, the type of player, maybe not. He already got 10 goals this season and even 6 assists. And from a guy, if you said that a couple of years ago that he would be that great scorer, he would do these things, nobody would believe him. Because what he's such an important part because of Parise leaving to the Minnesota, that it's a great thing to see a player like that still stepping up, still proving how great player he is. And so with that said, we'll move on to the last segment, that is the coaches that have the best coaches so far. And for me, it's the Devils' Peter Bohr, because the Devils being that high up and getting that many points without, when they lost Parise. They lost so many points, they lost, and even dropping Sikora, who did 20 goals last season. It's many goals that the players that you had that scored that last season. And with, even though they lost all of those point players, they still are at the top of the league with the rest of the teams, which is why I think De Boer is doing such an amazing job, and hope he continues that. And of course, the runner-up, Bruce Boudreau. It was heads or tails, really, who I would pick to be the best coach so far, because both of these coaches have done such an amazing job. Bruce Boudreau, who is an amazing coach, never should have been fired from the Capitals, never should have gone down from his style and making his team different from what it was. They should just have said, keep at it. You will, if you believe, you will win. Isn't that the American system? It's all about believing yourself. And so many Americans in so many different sports have managed to win because they believed in themselves. And if you don't believe in yourself and we need to change this and that, soon you don't know who I am. Who is the Capitals? That was the thing. Now, they're still at the bottom of the table. It's like they're chasing a dream that maybe never happened because they changed too much. They did things that probably ended up being failures. So, that's my awards for this year so far. Hopefully I can pick it up again later on this season when we're hit around the 30 mark, I would say. That around 15 more games, I would say. So now we will move on to the top 5 of this week and the 2 losers. And number 5, the Ottawa Senators. Having that kind of week, still winning games without Erik Karlsson and Spezza is just great thing. Can they keep it up? I already said much about the Ottawa Senators, even in a quick vlog I made the last week. So I don't think I have much more to say than it's just amazing. I hope that they can keep at it and have a great year, because they deserve it. So, number 4, the Montreal Canadiens, which is a team I haven't spoken about so far, because they really sneaked up on me. I haven't been able to caught the game with the Montreal Canadiens, and now with them going so good, I probably will. Hope with Price in net, PK Subban signed, and he have been signed for a while, but him at the back is such an important part of Montreal Canadiens, and also Markov, who is not injured so far, which I don't think I have seen any news about that yet. So hopefully he can stay healthy all season, because it's a player that's been gone most seasons before in injuries and all that, and now he's not injured, and suddenly Canadians are with the top teams. So another Canadian team that's going good. Hopefully they can keep at it, and who knows, maybe make it to the playoffs this year. They have a great chance to doing that, and hope they will continue at it. So, 3rd, Pittsburgh Penguins, which I have spoken about Pittsburgh Penguins before and said that they're not, for some reason I can't take them to heart, but some players I just can. Evgeny Malkin, I love watching him play. He's such an amazing player. And I pick Malkin over Crosby. I'm sorry, but Crosby is the perfect player. There's nothing Crosby can't do. I mean, on the ice, he can do everything. And that's why he's second on points this season. He's such a great player in all the different areas. You can have him anywhere on the ice. I bet you could take him down in defense and he would be amazing there. I wouldn't be surprised either if he would be amazing there. So, top tip to Pittsburgh, try having Crosby on defense when you're in. No, he scored too much points for having him down there. But Pittsburgh moving along, being good. I mean, it's not much to say about Pittsburgh because they have such great players, and if they wouldn't be on the top, that would be more surprising than anything else. So, second place on my list is Anaheim. Chicago and Anaheim trade places in my spot because Chicago is more points in the league than Anaheim. It's simple as that. Anaheim doing, what are they now? 9-1 in their last 10 games, which is just, it's, I already spoken so much about Anaheim. I don't think I could even continue on saying more things because it's just a surprise to me, and it's a surprise to most of the people that they are going that great this season. And for the number one, I already admit that they traded places, and so it is the Chicago Blackhawks. And boy, oh boy, are they fun to watch. Kane, Taves, Hossa, Sharp, Keefe, and great goaltending from both Emery and Crawford. Now last night, Hossa got injured. Hopefully for the Chicago Blackhawks, he won't be gone as far, because it would be a real shame for them, and he's such an important part of that team, and he can, like a goal he did last night where he just walked in, rounded, Corsionario, quickly just put it in. How easy is that? It looked like anyone could do it. Just trading along, score. Oh, that wasn't so hard, was it? While it's much more difficult than anyone can ever imagine. So, that rounds up the top 5, and now we have to pick the losers, which is Columbus Blue Jackets. You can almost see my face is draining of sadness, because why did they have to have injuries? Couldn't anyone be at least nice to them and say, oh, we're not gonna give you injuries now that you have so little depth now that you get rid of Nash? No! We just freaking do the bats thing again and just beat down everyone. Because why would we need healthy players? They can soon put out the whole AHL team. Or soon they will need to sign junior kids to be their players. And Blue Jackets probably gonna get in the bottom this year, and it's a rebuilding year. It's expected, but the injuries is just mocking them. And so also the other losing team is Buffalo, because as I talked about Buffalo last week, I didn't see where they were going with the thing. They have the leading point scorer in Vanek in the whole league. That's not even closely enough, because they're not getting enough of it, because they're losing too much. It's that simple as that. It's a winning sport, and you can't keep losing. You can't keep running around or skating around like you don't know what you're doing. So, that will round out the show this week, and as always, my Twitter is MarkHarmsDore. You can write me there, it's easier, or just write in the comment section below on this video. Please leave a like, it's always good for the videos. Apparently YouTube works that way, but so it's been an honor having you as always. If you've watched this far, I'm just happy that you feel that my opinions matter. I humbly bow and say goodbye. Bye.